contributing factor to the hypothermia. The health ministry said that Thursday that nearly 4,000 others have been hospitalized with hypothermia and frostbite. Aurora whirlpool. Sometimes the sky surprises us. On February 14th and 15th, with little warning, geomagnetic activity rippled around the Arctic Circle, producing an outbreak of auroras that veteran observers said was among the best in months. At the height of its display, the U.S. Defense Meteorological Program satellite photographed a whirlpool of northern lights just north of the Bering Sea. And you got to remember, this is when the shields went down, and we had a hole in our magnetic sphere, and we had these unusual aurora borealis going on. And that's about all new they have going on tonight. Over to El Hierro volcano in the Canary Islands. We have just seen burning lava balloons on the eruption webcam. Upper left part of the screen. They must be rather big as they burn for several seconds. Hopefully it will be repeated for people who start to look now. And that eruption is getting more intensified, and it's about ready to break onto the surface kind of thing going on. And we've all been paying attention to this. Over to the Ice Age now. European death toll tops 650. Farmers concerned about their animals. Romanian farmers faced with up to 15 feet of snow in some areas this week are concerned about their sheep, goats, horses, and cows, obviously. Italy, 1.5 billion in damage from ice and snow. Still an emergency with dozens of countries covered by meters of snow. Record cold summer in Sydney, Australia. Not just the day, not just the month, but the entire summer. And they're having a lot of rains and flooding going on down there. Macedonia declares the energy crisis to prevent collapse of energy system. And temperatures in Macedonia dropped to a record low. People are freezing to death, and I reported on that last night. Over to the RSOE. What else is going on? Flash flooding in Australia in the state of Victoria, the Melbourne region. Torrential downpours of rains, and of course the rivers are overflowing. Crop damage and that kind of thing. Another big cold wave in Russia. The Sea of Azov. Flash flooding in Peru, again, more torrential rains, crop damage. They've declared a state of emergency there as well. And the other one was the avalanches in India, in the upper Himalayas, snowfall avalanches, burying villages, that kind of thing, and heavy rainfall. That's about all climate change I have for you tonight. Let's go ahead into the nuclear stuff. 3 quakes in Fukushima over 4 hours. And just goes to show that that whole region continues to be unstable. Has been since time began, I'm sure. New docs show in iodine 131 contamination was 350% of highest amount reported. 54,100 becquerels per kilogram in spinach, 100 kilometers away from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. And these products are making it to market. Pro surfers fight nuke plant near world's best point break, and they have a short film on that. The temperature drops 2 degrees Celsius from 220 degrees Celsius at reactor number 2. Only since the decrease is gauge failure indicated on TEPCO data. So are they reporting the decrease and then, hey, it's a gauge failure, so don't worry about it, anybody. Areas with 10,000 becquerels of radioactivity considered highly contaminated by study over 30,000 square kilometers in Japan exceed level. 8% of the nation is technically unlivable and should be evacuated. They have millions of people living in these areas. Mystery black million becquerels per kilogram of cesium seen all over Miyagi Soma. Officials meeting to discuss the findings. TEPCO no longer monitoring thermometer. Temperature remains steady around 220 degrees Celsius. They will stop added water injections if government says it's reasonable. And that's about all new they have tonight. There's a couple stories I wanted to get over to Fukushima Diary. Its official safety limit of infant food and milk will be raised to 100 becquerels per kilogram. They just doubled it from 50. The insanity continues, and studies upon studies have shown that this is not a safe level. It's actually pretty suicidal. The MHLW manipulated the new safety food bill limit. Following up this article, Japanese government is going to raise the safety limit for infant. The report turned out to have been manipulated. Debris from North Japan is only 1.13 times as much as the Great Henshin earthquake. And they're saying the debris they have to deal with in Japan isn't quite as bad as they had feared, because most of it got swept out into the Pacific Oceans, about ready to get washed ashore along the Pacific coast of North America. And that's about all I'm going to send out for you tonight. If I missed anything, of course, leave your comments or attach your videos. Thanks for your support. Enjoy while you can, everybody.